the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Yankoi, the Criminal and Economic Division of the Accra High Court. Now you do one more. The case involving Alhaji Collins Dauda, Alhaji Yakubu Ziblim, a former Works and Housing Minister, Dr. Kweku Ajamai Mensah, and Andrew Klokana, involving the Sagleme housing scandal. Now, cross-examination, this cross-examination, happens to be a cross-examination for the second accused, Dr. Kweku Ajamai Mensah. Then somewhere a PMO or the criminal, the Economic and Financial Division of the Accra High Court, HMKRI. So interesting. Lawyer Godwin Edudzie Tamakulu and all representing former NDC Minister for Works and Housing, Dr. Kweku Ajamai Mensah. Or no anybody Alhaji Collins Dauda die. To mum the Attorney General SCO involving the Sagleme housing scandal. Now, prosecution witness 2. Reverend Stephen Yao Osei, na oye Chief Director at the Ministry of Works and Housing. Ono and as I say wojina adaka mu ya ye tutu nano. And lawyer Edudzie Tamakulu cross examine no. Na Reverend Stephen Yao Osei, in fact, washanse no a ena oka editor lawyer Edudzie Tamakulu and Dr. Kweku Ajamai Mensah say omon kenkan Proverbs chapter 18 verse 17. And ye be the New International Version of the Bible. Na enioma ni woman or say in a lawsuit, the first to speak seems right until someone comes forward and cross-examines. And I didn't know to her pine. And so on one, and I was like catch court to say, or person was I can kind Proverbs chapter 11 verse 1. And also saying it here, or say a false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Reverend Stephen Yawase, a founder, was a head pastor at the Lift Up God Church International. You see, one and a prosecution witness 2. Na easy to cross examination is saying a coy, young famum na is also interesting. Bible quotation you know at the a good on moi, she said. Asemu Ghana. Now, cross examination question number 1. Lawyer Edudzie Tamakulu, Ebusa, Reverend, and they say, as you testify today, the ministry that you are the chief director of has not set up any committee to inquire into the activities of the principal consultant. And you know, Sagleme housing scandal and our project in the principal consultant, or no, and now a buying fan say on your thorough works on the housing project. Now offer report emirate the Ministry of Works and Housing. Not payment any affected as to the progress of work, Architectural and Engineering Services Limited, AESL. You know what I'm and an Edudzie Tamakulu to the prosecution witness. And you know, as far as the Sagleme housing project is concerned, beyond the criminal investigation, correct? And a reverend say it is not true. And you know, and Edudzie said, so it is your case that you set up a committee to look into the activities of the principal consultant, that is Architectural and Engineering Services Limited. And a Reverend Buanano say, a committee was set up by the ministry to look into the entire Sagleme housing project. And Edudzie said, in specific reference to Architectural and Engineering Services Limited, was a committee set up. And a Reverend Ichirim said, and yet, AES no kwa. The committee no setting up no. All the other consultants at AESL class fire by LEC part of their duties. Dema womo and a contractor ye constructura OAS ye omo ye adwuma wo Sagleme housing scandal. Omo nyina and this committee set it up no was supposed to investigate them. Nti no enyi AES no nko emfiri mu ma ne nkoye sa ase AES no adwuma mo ye ejiri nyina tum because say aban no set up committee so on investigate one nko na emu no the committee was supposed to investigate thoroughly all consultants in addition to AESL and even the contractor no responsible for the Sagleme housing scandal. And na Edudzie ebusa ne bion say, in fact, as you testify now, the Ministry of Works and Housing, on whose behalf you testified, has not in any official report made any adverse findings against Architectural and Engineering Services Limited. And a reverend say it is not true. And you know correct, Mr. Edudzie, you know correct. Anna Edudzie to man say, now we are from Exhibit A. The last exhibit attached to your witness statement. Are there any findings against AESL? And a reverend answer say, the witness statement I presented to the court. I testify that the consultant AESL did not do the work as supposed to be done, and the ministry's committee's report, which was tendered in court, as well as the Ghana Institute of Surveyors investigation, revealed that AESL did not do the work as expected. In the certification of job done, which was agreed between the parties based on escrow management account, was not followed by the consultant. And I have said in several occasions, because we are in this situation because the consultant slept on duty. I remember a brief background kakani to cross examinations. One said, in Parliament, the deal was signed between Constructura OAS, on a Brazilian contractor now will be effective, the housing project. And now, the Ministry of Works and Housing. And now the Ministry of Works and Housing, a contractee, Architectural and Engineering Services Limited. Omoye in charge of engineering services, building, contracts, say omo ena enya strict supervision on Constructura OAS. Now, the strict supervision is say, company no start here juma or a 5,000 housing units in yesi enti omu sidru say ya AESL for no emaye thorough investigation on the project done at that percentage. No more will say everything is in place according to how the contract was structured. Now omu tuya a certain percentage of the $200 million to the contractor. Now on sign called the next phase of the project. Now omunya sa ko say all the 5,000 housing units are well executed according to the actual contract between the Ministry of Works and Housing and Constructura OAS. And it's a out of 5,000, 1,508 and a company need to be seen 668 and a habitable. Dear, not just a dear Juma. And a way yentia ultimately consultancy fee of over $20 million dear and no minor boka ya value for money dear no wasem and ana air cost during this cross examination dear to cross examinations and Edudzie busan said, and the consultant is not one of the accused persons. And I answer by I have said several times that I am not the prosecutor and I don't determine who comes to court. And Edudzie say, in your testimony, you have informed this court that AESL, the main consultant, slept on their duties, which is to certify work done. Correct? And will say yes. And Edudzie busan say, in fact, with your experience at the ministry, work done is evidenced by the IPCs, that is interim payment certificates. Correct? And a reverend say yes. However, there are internal procedures that are followed to validate certificates raised. And I have told this court that there is a project monitoring team that goes to site to cross-check the figures presented by the consultant. And after that, a memo is raised by the Director of Budget and presented to the Honorable Minister through the Chief Director before such payments are made. Enti basic enchichiremu ena Reverend Edema Edudzie say, Edudzie person wa kire say, edi enti na wabegya to mo court say, main consultant wasa wo hwe ema contractor ye adwuma o daaye e wo na adwuma so. Na momo prosecutor ye the attorney general dey asem ne ba court. Or charge the first minister, Collins Dauda, or charging the second minister, Dr. Ajamai Menu. Now, or charging the contractor, no represented Constructura OS Organa, Andrew Kulukana. There were one charge AESL and a reverend, episode on one prosecutor to want to mean determine nipa excessive prosecutor in the court. And now, Edudzie excellent say. The experience ewo ministry no ogito say see aye adwuma mpa no evidence a kire ade bi afa ni interim payment certificate na and Reverend Church Edudzie say your internal procedures ekoso ansan yetumi validate certificate a kire say adwuma yaye ni ya na enye ni yi na bi ni say adwuma bia no aban de be ma no your project monitoring team within the ministries. The Ministry of Works and Housing, a project monitoring team. Yeah, or monitor various projects given out by the ministry. Into one of those projects, a sagleme. Into the monitoring project, say project monitoring team, say omoko site. Echo say figures. Yeah, consultant. Yeah, ono na contractor no, any contractor no, ediaba no. Adwuma e site wono. Any figures ni machiana because wo ja wo mo the consultant and the contractor betumi akabo mu aye baako falsify figures e de bu aban enuti na ministry na we responsible for such projects no enso e form project monitoring team e mo fa chire ko site ko hwese contractor chire mu a ye use blocks 200 blocks na ba ko bia 80 this enti ye adwuma no ye tuapa fo sei enti ono ade na ni ko hwe hunu sei ensem a contractor any consultant a on monitor contractor de ban sa pepeneti na omo wi a na omo raise memo e dia koma Director of Budget. Na Director of Budget are presented the amount Minister Krono through the Chief Director and sana payment bi bekoso akoso. Sani the internal procedures ya ekoso within ministry. Since when nchiremu a Reverend EDMI. And Edudzie busa say in fact if you look at the process of raising the interim payment certificates, the minister is only copied in the correspondence with respect to Sagleme project. And a reverend say yes, according to the EMA that the contractor raised, a certificate sent to the contractor and copied to the Ministry of Works and Housing. And Edudzie Busane said, and you will notice that in the specific case of your ministry, you have a Director of Housing whose immediate responsibility is to check the various housing projects being undertaken by the ministry, including the Sagleme project. And I reverend say yes, sanity. And it is proud to testify in this court. Have you had the opportunity to look at the specific charges against the second accused? And I reverend say no, I didn't charge the alleged offenders. And you on the charge those specific charges. And what does it say? If you go through the various IPCs for which reason the second accused is charged, Surveyor Louis Sekamo Atongo, the then Managing Director of Architecture and Engineering Services Limited, only forwarded the already prepared IPCs to the second accused. And I reverend say yes, Ayanokresa, through Surveyor Atongo, forwarded certificates raised by the contractor to the ministry. I have said, having gone through the certificates forwarded by AESL, did not constitute what a normal certificate look like. And my lord, per the AMA, the duty of the consultant is to cross-check and ensure that milestone achieved by the contractor correspondent with the money raised by the contractor. Enti a consultant na said say, according to Nkrata Yasensan, obecheck say, contractor no adwuma waye no equivalent to nisika o demand, because what was said no eno ne etu akasa ye You are serving as a consultant to do a cross-check of what the contractor is doing on site. And that what the contractor is doing on site is equivalent to the amount he is demanding at every specific point in time. And only what consultancy services are all. Who was a site or what was the window level? Who year calculation window level? Sika say the fata contractor no cre. Say sika no and we raise it free ministry ho. Ebi meka ho. That is your consultancy work that you are doing. And my lord, under a normal IPC, there will be a contract sum. Example, less advance mobilization money, less retention, and retention are made if a contractor is executing a job. There is something. As I said, we have the contract sum, $200 million, less advance mobilization, less retention, and if other tax could be deducted, and finally, you have money available. However, if you look at the certificate that AESL presented, it had nothing of such description made. It's only the money that is available to the contractor that is found in the IPCs. That is why I say, if the internal processes had worked and the internal monitoring team evaluate the milestones of work and percentage of work done, we would not have squandered $200 million without the actual contract, which is 5,000 housing units, being completed. And if you look at the EME, who is the account holder, and as I said, the ministry as well as the developer, the ministry is the account holder. And in fact, you will notice that the project milestones and actual work done are the duties to be undertaken by the consultant, as you alluded to. And a reference, it is not correct. The EM states that milestones achieved should be agreed by the parties, not just a party, including a consultant, but it should include both the consultant, the contractor, and the project monitoring team of the ministry, headed by the chief director and the minister. Proud to you testify in this court, Edudzie asks, did you become aware that Star Assurance provided the insurance in relation to the performance bond? And a reverend said, no, I know an insurance cover was secured for the project. And Edudzie said, I am suggesting to you that this insurance cover came from Star Assurance. And a reverend said, and they are not workers naturally because documents said, yeah, but BBN is so. And Edudzie said, there were steps taken to underwrite any potential risk in the execution of the project. And a reference say, it is not wholly true. Insurance can only be redeeming when a party has fulfilled all its responsibilities to a limit that is beyond the party's inability. If the contractor had completed the 5,000 homes and after building, there is a force majeure, then the insurance company would have come in to pay the insurance bond. In this settlement project, the project could not be delivered as expected. There were a lot of shortfalls, which do not allow the ministry to retrieve anything against the insurance company. Why insurance is we sit down 5,000? Let's use our layman view. Why insurance air cover 5,000 housing units? One to me and see 5,000 housing units. Uko insurance company no say or account for them. It is a simple question I'm asking. Why insurance? Say insurance and cover a project which is supposed to be 5,000 homes. Emu half krenu, emu 1/4 krenu. Etina Edudzie person actually say insurance no valid on what type of contract? Because the contract is stipulated that we are supposed to complete 5,000 homes. That is the answer. Now Reverend Dema Edudzie. Eno say abiu. Or say what was called for what was a performance bond. It was not a general but specific performance bond. And a Reverend Chen said it was not a specific bond. However, it is whether the contractor performs to the expectation of the agreement signed between the ministry and the contractor. And this is in fact, as you testify now, has the ministry made any attempt to officially claim the insurance for a non-performance? And a reverend say, insurance cover comes with obligations. The ministry, as far as I'm concerned, had not made any attempt to claim any insurance. Insurance cover comes with obligations of both parties, the insurer and the insured. There are duties that insurer must perform, as well as expectations from the insured. From this Sagleme project, the insured did not perform to expectations. And it is Reverend, as you testified, you have not even seen the insurance contract. And Reverend said, no. And Edudzie said, let me have the Bible. Kindly have a look at Proverbs chapter 18, verse 17, and read to the hearing of the court. And Reverend King Kind, or said, the one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him. And Edudzie said, that is all for the witness. And I witness said, Debbie, that is not all. Yen kind Proverbs 11:1. Sorry. And Edudzie ma kwan say yen kind. And I also say, a false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. These two Bible verses ended the cross-examination. Edudzie say yen kind Proverbs 18 verse 17. They all say, the one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him. And a reverence to say, young kind Proverbs 11:1. On the phone say, a false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Young cover the tree version of it. The infant news you and the okay tree Bible no Edudzie Tamaklu. The Proverbs 18:17 no. Tree ni say. The oboni nkuro kane yese otrinini kosi se the yonko ba be pepe mu the oboni nkuro no kane no wo yese trinini kosi se the yonko ba no be pepe mu asemu a lawyer Edudzie Tamaklu from the Bible or the man reverend no and a reverend so man no Proverbs chapter 11 verse number 1 and also say insisie insane ye Awurade achiwade insisie insane Awurade achiwade na abramu ekwan mu ye no ani so na abramu kwan mu ye no ani so nti insisie sane o se Awurade achiwade ti wa adwene se me fa kwan bi so sisi obi a na reverend so de ma Edudzie se den eno se Awurade achiwade nti wei ene de end cross examination ene ewo the Criminal, Economic and Financial Division of the Accra High Court.